Dear students, welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to discuss about introduction on air pollution. So, in previous session, we have discussed about what is air pollution and what are the various definitions of air pollution and what is air pollutant and what are the various natural sources of air pollutants, various artificial sources of air pollutants we have been seen. And in this session, we are going to discuss about what are the various classification of air pollutants and what are the various classification of air pollution sources we are going to see. So, it means in previous session we have been discussed about air pollution definition and scope of air pollution we have seen, and in this session we are going to see about the classification of air pollutants and the sources of air pollution we are going to see. So see, first of all, we have to discuss about the classification of air pollutants. Already we have been discussed the classification of air pollutants based on their sources, natural air pollutants, artificial air pollutants, that is one classification, and based on their origin, primary pollutants and secondary pollutants, this is another classification, and based on their physical state, they are particulate matter and gaseous pollutants. It means in the classification of air pollutants, we are having three types of classifications. First one is the classification based on their sources. According to this, the air pollutants have been classified as natural air pollutants and artificial air pollutants. About this classification, we have been discussed in previous session. And the next one is the classification based on their origin. According to this classification, the air pollutants have been classified as primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. And the next one is the classification based on their physical state, that is gaseous pollutants and particulate matter. About these two classification we are going to see in this session. So first one is the classification based on their origin. So according to this, primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. Primary pollutants means the pollutants which can enter in atmosphere directly from their sources. They are called as primary pollutants. You can see primary pollutants are those which are emitted into atmosphere directly from any identifiable sources. The atmosphere contains hundreds of natural and anthropogenic sources. All such pollutants are primary pollutants. It means in atmosphere we are having number of artificial, it means anthropogenic primary pollutants as well as number of natural primary pollutants. It means various pollutants like sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide. So these are all the pollutants directly emitted into atmosphere from their sources, and also dust particles and smoke particles. Directly, it means from automobiles or from industries, the smoke or sulfur dioxide or nitrogen dioxide or carbon monoxide, these pollutants directly emitting into atmosphere from their sources. So that's why they are called as primary pollutants. And some important primary pollutants are oxides of sulfur, oxides of carbon, oxides of nitrogen, hydrocarbons, SPM. SPM is nothing but standard particulate matter, and various gaseous pollutants like hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen fluoride, and methyl and ethyl mercaptans. So these are all the various primary pollutants. Oxides of sulfur, it means we are having various oxides of sulfur are there like sulfur monoxide, sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, sulfur tetraoxide. So these are all the various oxides of sulfur. Among all these oxides of sulfur, sulfur dioxide is the primary pollutant and remaining all are secondary pollutant. And the next one is the oxides of carbon. Oxides of carbon, generally carbon monoxide CO and carbon dioxide CO2. These two are considered as oxides of carbon, and these two are primary pollutants. And oxides of nitrogen, generally in oxides of nitrogen we are having 7 forms of oxides of nitrogen are there in atmosphere. Among all these, nitrogen monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen trioxide, these three are considered as primary pollutants, and remaining are nitrous oxide, dinitrogen trioxide, dinitrogen tetroxide, dinitrogen pentoxide. These four considered as secondary pollutants. And the next one is the hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are the gaseous pollutants emitting into atmosphere due to burning of organic matter or due to the decomposition of organic matter or organic wastes. So whereas it means all these are also coming into atmosphere directly from their sources like decomposition or burning. So these are also considered as primary pollutants. And next one is the standard particulate matter. It means whatever the particles or whatever the pollutants in atmosphere in the form of particles like dust, smoke, or sand. Sometimes along with wind, sand also can travel with wind in atmosphere. Okay, na? So clay particles, silt particles, dust particles, cement particles, fly ash particles, smoke particles. So these are all called as particulate matter. These are also can cause air pollution. So particulate matter is generally the particles can cause particle air pollution. It means air pollution. Those pollutants are called as particulate matter. And here the term is there, standard particulate matter. Standard particulate matter is nothing but the particulate matter have been classified as standard particulate matter. It means based upon the size of particles, the particulate matter have been classified as PM 2.5, PM 10 and PM 0.1. So these three are the particulate matter. It means these three are called as standard particulate matter. It means PM 2.5, PM 10 and PM 0.1. It means the particles whose size is 2.5 micrometers, they are called as PM 2.5, and the particles whose size is around 10 micrometers, they are called as PM 10, and the particles whose size is around 0.1 micrometers, they are called as PM 0.1. So these three sizes of particulate matter are called as standard particulate matter. Because the standard particulate matter, it means these three sizes has been chosen based. It means these three sizes are. It means they are somewhat convenient, or they are having some comforts in their analysis. So that's why the particulate matter have been classified as PM 0.1, PM 2.5 and PM 10, and these three sizes of particulate matter are called as standard particulate matter. And next are the various gaseous pollutants like hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen fluoride and mercaptans. So these are all the various important primary pollutants. It means okay. And next one is the secondary pollutants. Secondary pollutants are the pollutants emitted into atmosphere due to some chemical reactions between the primary pollutants or some chemical interactions between the primary pollutants and atmospheric constituents. You can see here, secondary pollutants are those which are formed in the atmosphere as a result of two or more primary pollutants or by reactions with normal atmospheric constituents. These newly formed pollutants are often more harmful than the original basic chemicals or gases that produce them. It means primary pollutants means the pollutants directly emitting into atmosphere from their sources, and secondary pollutants means the pollutants released in atmosphere due to chemical reactions between primary pollutants or the chemical interactions between the primary pollutants and atmospheric constituents. And one more thing we have to remember, that these secondary pollutants are highly dangerous and harmful than the primary pollutants. You can see these are all the various secondary pollutants like sulfuric acid, ozone, formaldehydes, PAN. It means peroxyacetyl nitrate. And next one is the photochemical smog. So it means these are all the common and highly dangerous air pollutants. First one is the sulfuric acid. It is the pollutant air which cause air pollution, and it means whenever sulfur dioxide emitted into atmosphere as a primary pollutant, it will gets oxidized in atmosphere and then it will produce sulfur trioxide, and that sulfur trioxide reacts with the water vapor in atmosphere and then it will produce sulfuric acid in atmosphere. This sulfuric acid causes acid rain. Understand or no? So it means from sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide is producing, and from sulfur trioxide, sulfuric acid is producing. It means sulfur dioxide is the reason for two secondary pollutants, sulfur trioxide and sulfuric acid. It means the sulfuric acid is the highly dangerous pollutant, and it is the reason for acid rain. Next one is the ozone. Ozone is a secondary pollutant. It means whenever oxides of sulfur like sulfur dioxide or sulfur trioxide present in atmosphere, they will react with sunlight, it means UV rays in atmosphere, and then they will produce ozone in atmosphere. And also the oxides of nitrogen like nitrogen monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen trioxide also reacts with the UV rays in atmosphere, and then they will produce ozone. It means ozone is a secondary pollutant. It means the primary pollutants reacting with UV rays in atmosphere, and then they are producing a pollutant ozone. So ozone is a secondary pollutant. And the next one is the formaldehydes. These are all the formaldehydes are the pollutants coming out entered into atmosphere due to the chemical reactions between various organic pollutants like hydrocarbons. Okay na. And the next one is the peroxyacetyl nitrate. Peroxyacetyl nitrate is the highly dangerous pollutant. It is producing in atmosphere due to the, it means during the formation of photochemical smog. It means whenever in atmosphere, whenever abundant, it means high heavy sunlight is there and high concentration of oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen are there, these oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, and UV rays of atmosphere react with them, and then they will produce a smog in atmosphere. It means smoke also there, smoke and fog, they will produce a smog in atmosphere. This is called as photochemical smog. During the formation of photochemical smog, number of pollutants will be evolved in atmosphere like ozone also produced in atmosphere during photochemical smog, and peroxyacetyl nitrate also produced in atmosphere during the formation of photochemical smog, and also some acid concentrations like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, carbonic acid also will be produced in atmosphere during the formation of photochemical smog. It means the photochemical smog is a secondary pollutant, but during the formation of photochemical smog, it will release number of secondary pollutants, and also in the formation of photochemical smog, number of primary pollutants will be involved, and also number of atmospheric constituents will be involved. Okay na. So these are all the various secondary pollutants like sulfuric acid, ozone, formaldehydes, peroxyacetyl nitrate, and photochemical smog. Not only this, we are having number of secondary pollutants are there like sulfur trioxide, nitrous oxide, dinitrogen trioxide, dinitrogen tetroxide, dinitrogen pentoxide, and nitrogen trioxide also sometimes act as a secondary pollutant, and various formaldehydes. So these are all various ozone. So these are all various secondary pollutants in atmosphere. And the next one is the sources of air pollution, and also it means there is also a classification for sources of air pollution, and based on their it means the air pollution have been classified as natural sources of air pollution, and the next one is the artificial source of air pollution. About that we have seen in previous session. It means whatever the activities occurred naturally in atmosphere, if they cause air pollution, they are called as natural source of air pollution like forest fires, volcanic eruptions, and salt particles coming out from seawater. So these are all the various natural source of air pollution. And next one is the artificial source of air pollution, means various industries release various pollutants in atmosphere, and automobiles, power generation. So these are all various artificial or anthropogenic or man-made source of air pollution. About this we have seen in previous session, and now we are going to see one more classification of sources of air pollution, that is stationary sources and mobile sources. You can see stationary sources means industrial installations from stationary sources. It means various industries like paper mills, or it means hydrochloric acid plants, or sulfuric acid plants, or textile industry, or petroleum refineries, or metallurgical industries, or power plants. So these are all considered as stationary sources. It means they cannot move, so that's why industrial installations called as stationary sources of air pollution. And the next one is the mobile sources of air pollution. It means automobiles, moving on roads form the mobile source of air pollution. They release undesirable gases and particulates into atmosphere. It means whatever the sources of air pollution can move or having mobility, they are called as mobile source of air pollution. And whatever the source of air pollution cannot move and they are situated at a point and they can continuously releasing air pollutants, they are considered as stationary source of air pollution. And this classification in it means helpful in the analysis of air quality monitoring. It means the pollutants coming out from stationary sources can cause some kind of effects to environment and human health, and the pollutants coming out from automobiles or mobile sources can cause it means somewhat different effects on environment as well as human beings. So that's why the air pollut it means the air pollution sources have been classified as stationary sources and mobile sources, and it means the effects of these sources are different, and also the analysis and the measurement of pollutants coming out from these sources also will be different. It means especially the dispersion of these pollutants in atmosphere will be varying. It means we have seen already like plume behavior. It means the plume, it means the plume coming out from industries or stationary sources will behave like coning or lofting or fanning, etc. And the plume coming out from automobiles, it will not behave like plume coming out from stationary sources. It contains somehow different, it means different behavior. So that's why for the analysis of plume or for the analysis of dispersion of air pollutants in atmosphere and for the analysis of the effects of air pollutants these sources of air pollution have been classified as stationary sources and mobile sources. And for the same purpose, there is another classification of air pollution sources, that is point, area and line sources. It means first one is the point sources. See, point sources are large stationary sources such as cement factories, sewage treatment plants, etc. It means large industries, large such an industry like a cement factory, textile industry, or paper manufacturing industry, or thermal power plants, sewage treatment plant. So these are all the large sized industries, and these large sized industries are considered as point sources. And the next one is the area sources. Area sources are small stationary sources such as residential heating, on-site incinerations, open burning, etc. And mobile sources with indefinite routes such as aircrafts, port vessels, motor vehicles, rail yard locomotives, etc. It means in any area a number of small sources, small air pollution sources are there. That area or that zone is considered as area source of air pollution. It means point source means that is the industry, it means that is the source of air pollution at a particular location. At that location only a large sized industry, only one source is there, and it should be large, that is considered as point source. And a number of sources are there and which are small, it means that zone or that area is considered as area source of air pollution. You can see area sources are small stationary sources such as residential heating, on-site incineration, open burning, etc. and mobile sources with indefinite routes such as aircrafts, port vessels, motor vehicles, rail yard locomotives, etc. And the next one is the line source of air pollution. Line sources are mobile sources with definite routes, and these include highway vehicles, railways, etc. It means the mobile sources which have definite routes or definite path like highways and railways, so these are all called as line sources. And the mobile sources which are having indefinite paths, they are considered as area sources. Understand or no? So these are all the various classification of sources of air pollution. So in this session we have discussed about primary pollutants, secondary pollutants, and what are the stationary sources, mobile sources of air pollution, and what are the point source of air pollution, area source of air pollution, and line source of air pollution we have seen. You remember that this is the most important topic, and in next session we will discuss about the classification of air pollutants based on their physical state. It means particulate matter and gaseous pollutants. Okay na? Thank you.